with the addition of Jimmy Butler, how dangerous is this Warriors team in the West?
No more dangerous than they were yesterday. Let's call
You're not moved.
I'm not moved at all. Listen, and that's no knock against Jimmy Butler, but what we're not going to do today is call this a mega deal. It is not a mega deal. The fact of the matter is, if Jimmy Butler had ended up in Phoenix with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, that would have been a mega deal. But him being in Golden State, you got to understand something. We're accustomed to seeing Steph Curry with Klay Thompson. Jimmy Butler's not a Klay Thompson caliber player, not a type of player.
Well, this just got really interesting. Ever since the Warriors pulled off that blockbuster trade for Jimmy Butler, they flipped the switch and become one of the NBA's most dangerous squads. Now they're charging into the playoffs with a date against the Houston Rockets. And if I'm Houston, I'm sweating. Meanwhile, in Phoenix, things are falling apart fast. The Suns have axed their head coach, Devin Booker reportedly wants out, Bradley Beal looks completely done with the organization, and there's serious talk about Kevin Durant being traded. Back to Golden State though. When you give Steph Curry a teammate who not only creates his own shot but also takes over the offense when Steph sits, you don't just get a better Warriors team, you get a contender. Even as a 7 seed or a play-in team, they're absolutely one of the most dangerous teams in the league right now. And the Rockets? They better be on high alert. Every sign we've seen since that trade says one thing. Golden State is back. And they mean business. Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler have been on fire, racking up a combined 141 points across just their last 2 games. But scoring is only half the story. Their real magic? It's in the playmaking. Check this out. Steph gives it up to Draymond, gets it right back, then gives Zubac a quick hesitation, just enough to freeze him, before threading the needle back to Draymond for an easy finish at the rim. Pure art. Or, take this play. Curry catches it on the wing, sizes up the defense, drives in to draw Zubac, and then whips a perfect dime to Looney for the layup. That's elite court vision. This is exactly why Steph and Jimmy are quickly becoming one of the most dangerous duos in the league. They're not just prolific scorers, they're creators too. And it shows, especially when Steph is off the floor. For years, the Warriors have struggled when Steph sits. But now, they've got Jimmy Butler, a guy built to carry teams who thrives under pressure and has no problem running the show. And the best part? He only has to do it for half the game. Like this moment, Jimmy sizes up his defender, attacks the paint with confidence, and pause for visual or follow-up clip. It's plays like these that show exactly why this pairing might just change the entire playoff landscape. The moment the defense collapses, Jimmy Butler makes them pay. Like this play where he draws help and kicks it out to a wide-open Podziemski for a smooth 3. And how about this one? Off an offensive rebound, Jimmy fakes out the entire Grizzlies defense with his eyes, then zips a no-look pass to Santos under the rim for the and one. That's vintage Jimmy, manipulating defenses like a chess master. This is the Jimmy Butler effect. And if calling the Warriors one of the best teams in the NBA sounds like an exaggeration, let's look at the numbers. Since Butler landed in Golden State 30 games ago, the Warriors rank first in defense, 9th in offensive net rating, and they hold the 3rd best record over that stretch. The only teams ahead of them? The Oklahoma City Thunder and the Boston Celtics, this season's top title contenders. That brings us to the heart of their success. Over 30 games, this Warriors team hasn't just been good on D, they've been elite. And at the center of it all, Draymond Green. Despite the criticism and ongoing narratives, Draymond is putting together a defensive Player of the Year level campaign. He's anchoring a system that's shutting teams down night after night. Some critics are pushing the idea that Draymond Green only recently started locking in defensively. But let's set the record straight. The Warriors currently boast a better defensive rating than the Cavaliers. And remember, Draymond hasn't had the luxury of playing alongside someone like Jarrett Allen all season. What changed? He finally got another defensive mastermind next to him, Jimmy Butler. Now this team doesn't just have one defensive genius, they've got 2. And that changes everything. Watch this possession. Moses Moody is all over Ja Morant, pressuring the ball. Podziemski slides in to cut off the driving lane, and Jimmy blitzes in for the trap. Boom, forced turnover. It's intense, calculated chaos. One thing about Jimmy, he's an aggressive defender. He'll gamble, he takes risks. Sometimes, yeah, that backfires. But here's why it works. Draymond is always there to back him up. His timing? Near flawless. Take this play. Podziemski sticks with Desmond Bane, forcing him into a tough spot. Draymond, meanwhile, is already rotating out to Jaren Jackson Jr. And the second Jackson spins off Pods, Draymond is right there, having read the entire sequence in advance. That's elite defense. That's chemistry. And that's what happens when you put 2 high IQ defenders in the same. Every gamble becomes a calculated, and more often than not, it pays off. It's all about, and Jimmy Butler has it down to a science. The moment Jimmy sees Edie mashed up against Steph Curry in the paint, he knows something's coming. And just as Edie gathers the ball, Jimmy slips around the back and strips it. Perfect anticipation, but all of this chaos only works because there's a safety net. And that safety net is Draymond. Watch this. Delano Banton gets the handoff and blows by Draymond, Stonewall. Or this one. Jimmy pressures Scottie Pippen Jr. on the right, forcing him to go. But the second he turns, Draymond's already there, reading it all and shutting. This is the foundation of Golden State's top-ranked defense over the last 30 games. It's not just hustle or individual skill. It's the combination of intensity, basketball IQ, and relentless. And let's not forget, great defense is also about community. Draymond, of course, is known league-wide as one of the loudest voices on the floor. For better, he's just as vocal. He's constantly talking, directing, and warning teammates about plays before they even develop. This isn't just defense. It's defense with defense, built on chemistry, anticipation, and non-stop communication. Look, I get it. If you're not a die-hard hoops fan, Jimmy Butler can be a lot. His intensity, his edge, the constant fire. It's not for everyone, but that's the if you don't love basketball, you might miss the genius in it. And yeah, losers probably do get annoyed. Now, with all that said, I know this might sound wild, especially on a team with 3 future Hall of Famers, including one of the greatest players in NBA history. But there's another guy who's had a massive hand in flipping the Warriors season around. Drafted 52nd overall just last year, Post quietly cracked the rotation right before the Jimmy Butler trade. Since then, he's become an essential part of Golden State's new idea. His shooting has been a revelation. True Warriors fans probably noticed it the moment he stepped on the court, but the rest of the league is only now catching. Just watch the recent game against Memphis. Post comes in and boom, instant offense. He spaced the floor, knocks down shots, and gives Jimmy even more room to operate downhill. And when the defense collapses on Jimmy, that kick out to Post is money. Because the guy just doesn't miss. Post is hitting 41% from 3-on-4 attempts per game. That's impressive, but when you adjust for playing time, it gets even crazier. Per 36 minutes, he's knocking down 3.8 threes per game, ranking him 15th in the NBA. He's right behind names like Dante DiVincenzo, Buddy Hield, Klay Thompson, and Anthony Edwards, and he's doing all this in limited minutes. Now don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Quinten Post is a better shooter than Klay Thompson. Let's not get crazy. But here's the thing. Post is actually hitting threes at a higher percentage than all of those elite names we mentioned earlier. And he's doing it in every way imaginable. This isn't your average pick and pop big. He's knocking down shots off movement, spotting up from different angles, and stretching the floor like someone half is. That kind of versatility from a big man, you don't see it quietly. He's become one of the true catalysts behind the Warriors' turnaround. Sure, the spotlight will always shine brightest on Steph and that's fair. But make no mistake, Quinten Post is a major reason this team has flipped and if this keeps up, he's going to be a serious X factor come playoff time. If you're enjoying breakdowns like this and want to stay locked in as the playoffs, heat up, hit that subscribe button and drop a like. It helps a lot. But above all else, thanks for watching and hope you're having an awesome